Okay. Hmm. I think there's one more. Okay. All right. What's up, guys? It's Ryan here with East Coast Athletics, and I hope you guys enjoyed your Christmas. But 2020 is behind us now, so you know I hope you guys are enjoying the new year and looking forward to bigger and better things this year. I know everyone is aware that the whole pandemic situation that's occurring right now has or had cut our season short for 2020, but it's still lurking in the shadows. Amoa, you always always the first one to comment. But yeah, a little bit dehydrated from that workout earlier, so gotta get in some liquid. But yeah, the whole pandemic situation is still lurking in the shadows. It's not, totally gone. So, I have a few questions, Night Shanshan, that, I want to ask you guys. I want to get some feedback, some input, from my viewers as it relates to whether or not we should push forward with the indoor season. Right? Because I know a lot of colleges, or universities, they have scrapped their whole winter program. So all sports across the board, whether it's softball, the only sport that I'm aware of that they haven't canceled, in a lot of schools, is basketball. For the most part, they canceled track and field, football, all them other sports. So, they've been canceling quite a lot of stuff for the winter sports. But I actually wanted, to get some input from you guys to see, what y'all think about whether or not they should push forward indoor. Because if the pandemic is still here, having indoor, I think, it's kind of risky to pretty much, run indoor, even though I think that's something that we all want. We definitely would like an indoor season leading up to outdoor, but the fact that we all, have to be wearing a mask and everything, it just had me thinking, like, are we gonna be safe? I know there are still meets going on presently, in some parts of the country. I've yet to find any meets, that is like on our side on the East Coast, but I know there are meets in other places. And when I say meets on the East Coast, I'm talking about specifically like in New York, Virginia, um, Pennsylvania. I haven't seen any meets because I've been on Direct Athletics and I've been looking for meets, but I haven't seen any. And especially like in the Armory or Ocean Breeze, all those meets, when you look at Direct Athletics, it says closed, and one would assume that that is because they have been canceled. That's the reason why it says closed, and that's all due to the pandemic. So should we just, scrap indoor or not? Coach L, where you at? Because I know you or Coach X will definitely, shine some light on that. Also, to go even a step further, yeah, I'm wondering the same thing, Amoa. To go even a step further, they have canceled the World Indoor Championship. So World Indoor Championship was supposed to be this year, but because of what's going on in the world, they decided that they're gonna postpone it. But they stated that they will still have um, meets for a lot of the professional athletes. I'm not quite sure exactly what they. Oh, yeah! Happy New Year, man. Not quite sure exactly where they say all the meets were gonna be held, but they said they're still gonna have the indoor circuit for the athletes that really want to compete indoor, but they're gonna cancel the indoor championship. And in my opinion, if they're gonna cancel the indoor championship, what's the sense? Why are they even having an indoor circuit? I understand that athletes want to compete, but isn't the risk to reward ratio, more heavier on the risk side compared to the reward side? Because I don't think anybody really wanna get sick. Yes, I know they have a vaccine, but not everyone is willing to take that vaccine. So that's something that we definitely need to take into consideration. But I know for a fact a lot of schools, especially the HBCUs, have been going through the necessary steps, taking the necessary precaution to stay afloat, stay training. They've been testing very frequently, and I could speak to some of the schools here in Maryland where I'm at. They test their athletes very often. Alright, so Joseph is saying that people are gonna have to take the vaccine if they want the season to stay alive. Uh, I I agree and I also disagree because yes, I see your point. I see your point that if we really want the season to keep going, then people got to get vaccinated to allow us to be safe while around each other. But at the same time, just as Shan just mentioned, is it really safe? Is the vaccine safe? I think that's you know, the main thing that everyone is thinking about when they hear about taking the vaccine. I don't think everybody's opposed to taking it. I think a lot of people are afraid that they might end up being sick or might end up with something that they didn't want to get. So I think that's, what is, or that's more of a determining factor in whether or not people actually take the vaccine, or athletes actually take the vaccine. Mm, see, and she's just one person, Joseph. She's just one person. There hasn't been like, a large portion of America that's taken the vaccine that I've heard of, or it would have been on the news that, we're getting great results, from the vaccine. And for sure, then the COVID numbers would definitely be, plummeting. They would be dropping drastically. But even though we have a vaccine, the virus is still spreading. So there's no way to curtail the effects of the vaccine if it's still the effects of the virus if it's still spreading, even though they have a vaccine. So that's something that we got to take into consideration. Do we take the vaccine so we could compete, or do we think about canceling indoor season? Which is more important? I feel like a lot of people are stuck at that crossroad. And at the same time, a lot of the schools have made the decision for the athletes already by canceling their indoor meets, canceling their indoor season, or canceling winter sports. The schools have already made that decision for them. But other schools, have decided to, keep training in the hopes that things do get better. And hey, I think that's what we all want. I think we all want this virus to just disappear, and we're good to go back to normal. But I don't think it's gonna happen overnight. I think it's gonna take at least 2 to 3 months, and that's kind of all the way till the end of indoor season, because indoor ends around mid-March, right? Mid-March. So by then, indoor season is done. So should we still try to push for a couple meets indoor, or should coaches try to improvise and, I don't know, do other stuff in practice and training to help the athletes stay sharp and stay prepared for outdoor? Because I definitely think that outdoor will be better, or will be able to compete outdoor way more than indoor, because we're in the open. We're not, in an enclosed facility, where we all breathing in each other's air. So I think that's gonna be a better situation, to think about, or going forward, where competing is concerned. But hold on 1 second. And Joseph, I know you said that, I I can't remember her name, but I know you said that for some reason I can't get the name out, but she took the vaccine. And I also think that they have to take the vaccine. They're leaders. If you're a leader, you're gonna wait for other people to take it. What example are you setting if you do that? I know of a coach that say he's gonna take the vaccine. So I guess after he take the vaccine, then if he's fine, then I guess everybody else or his athletes will, maybe fall in line and take the vaccine. But I think the main argument surrounding the vaccine is that, is it safe or is it not safe? That's something that I think we definitely gonna have to wait, and see. And as I said before, the risk to reward, do we need to compete indoor? Or is it just something that we like doing or something that we think we must do? Because if I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna say indoor is not as important as outdoor. I mean, I would love to compete indoor, but the Olympics is not indoor. The World Championship is not indoor. It's outdoor. So therefore, that's something that I think a lot of athletes going to take into consideration. But then we also got to think about on a college level. So people who are preparing for NCs, they're not necessarily preparing for the Olympics or the World Championship. They're preparing for indoor championship, NCAA indoor championship, and NCAA outdoor championship. So their preparation is gonna be different. So competing indoor will be of significance to them compared to, say, a pro athlete that is just preparing for the Olympics, right? Because that's pretty much what all pro athletes do. They get ready for the big games, the Olympics, the World Championship. So yes, indoor is important to them because it helps them to assess where they're at that point of the season, but it's not super vital to their preparation to attain their ultimate goal, which is to try to make it to the Olympics or World Championship. So I really think that yes, we could cancel indoor, or they could cancel indoor, but I know a lot of people are not gonna agree. But it is what it is. I honestly, I don't want him to do it. I wish everything was better. Like I wish we didn't have this pandemic and we were able to compete indoor, or there was a way that they could curtail the amount of athletes attending a certain meet. I don't know. I feel like if they find a way to allow us to compete with less risk, that would be good. But if they can't do that, then it's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be really difficult because the virus spread in crowds. And at any typical indoor track meet, there's over 300 people, because there's not gonna just be the athletes. There will be coaches, officials, spectators. There'll be a whole bunch of people there. So, and from one team alone, sometimes there's like 40 teams there. And for one team, you might have 100 athletes. That's just one team alone. So if you guys do the math with officials, spectators, you be pushing maybe 2,000 people at one meet. And that's only given the virus room to spread. So is that a risk that, you know, the track and field community is willing to take? Or is it one that we could just, you know, say, okay, we don't need that right now? I think a lot of the meet organizers, they have already, you know, if it's safe, right, why some places. Hold up, I didn't get that comment quite clearly, Mr. Lawrence. Say. All right, that's kind of tricky. But I think they're based on testing, they're saying that it's safe, but we don't know what effect it will have on each individual. The effects that it will have on you might be different from the effect that it's going to have on me and somebody else. So that's something that we definitely got to think about. So, and that's one of the reasons why a lot of people are not quick to say, oh, I'm going to take the vaccine. Happy New Year, Kayvon. Mr. Jackson, what do you think? Do you think they should cancel indoor and just focus on outdoor for the mere fact that, you know, it's everything is pretty much, I'm gonna say, in a box? What's your take on that? What do you think about it? Because that's what this, you know, this live stream is about. You know, we're trying to weigh the pros and the cons and, you know, see if it's really plausible for us to, you know, get away with a couple meets here and there, which I think everyone would love. But at the end of the day, you know, the risk is really high. And that's something that I've been running from, like, I'm going to say all 2020. I'm trying to leave it in 2020. None of that risk I don't want to, you know, have to deal with. But Amoa, if you're still there, will you take the vaccine? Because you're the one who, you know, brought it up. Well, I'm gonna say you recommend that the athletes take it if they want the season to, you know, go forward. All right, so that's 2 comments. All right, so I'm gonna address the first comment first. That's Shan. So that's what I don't know for a fact. I don't know if they take it. I think because the people who are presently taking the vaccine, they don't have COVID. So I'm assuming that you take it so that you don't get the virus. You don't get it and you don't spread it. If you don't get it, you can't spread it. So I think that's what the vaccine is for. But I also think it does help if you have the virus and you get the vaccine. So, I mean, I would assume that's how That's how it worked. But Kayvon had said something. Let me see what he said. So sorry if I'm like, leaning into the screen because I'm not using my laptop. I'm using my iPad. All right, so Kayvon is saying that he wouldn't recommend that they have indoor. And I mean, honestly, I can't disagree. Even though I want them to have indoor, it's like you have to be realistic. Wants and needs are two different things, and one is more important than the other. We want indoor, but do we need indoor? And that's something that I think, we definitely have to think about. Weigh the pros and the cons, see which one is more important. Well, you're Rayon, you saying, I mean, Lawrence, you saying if you don't need to take it, don't take it. But at the same time, you don't have the virus, you don't take it, but the fact that you didn't take it leave you, I must say, at more risk, or you're gonna be more prone to contracting it. So, as I said, it's a it's a give and take. It's a give and take. You just gotta think about it both ways. Are you willing to take it? Well, personally, I'm not. I don't want to take it at all. So, I don't know. I guess we just gonna have to wait, and see what really happens, within a month. Because based on my understanding, there are still scheduled meets, but I guess they're just not on the Direct Athletics website. But let's see, because as I said, I know people, like know people personally that are competing right now, right? So I don't know how those meet organizers are doing things. That's something that I'm gonna have to investigate, do a little bit more research on to see how they're running the meets, see if there's any safety protocols that is in place to help control the spread of everything. Hey, those are very valid points, Shan, but I can't speak on any of that because I really don't know. I don't think anybody know right now. And side effects are things are not gonna show up immediately. Those things are gonna show up afterwards. It's not worth putting your team and coaches at. Oh, come on! I hate doing it on the iPad because it always goes away. It's not worth putting your team and coaches at risk. You travel as a team and you make lots of contact with other teams, and that's a valid point. It is a valid point. But see, some schools are really, really trying to make sure that their team stand a fighting chance. So some schools are gonna have their athletes fitted for N95 mask, right? So not 100% sure if it's gonna play a significant factor in preventing anything, because I'm almost certain you're not gonna run in an N95 mask. And when you get off the track and if you're in the marshalling area, you're not gonna be wearing your mask. And if you are wearing your mask after you finish running, when you get off the track, you're not gonna put that mass back on. If you just ran an 800 or 400 or any of those races, you're not gonna put a mass back on immediately after running that race. And again, you're not outdoor, you're indoor. So it's not like, fresh air passing, the whole time. You're in an enclosed space. It is a bigger enclosed space, but it's still enclosed because the ventilation is not, it's not like outdoor. It's not open. So that's something that, I think everyone need to take into consideration. But yeah, I think I've made my point. If you guys have anything else to add, or for the people who, didn't get to view the live stream and they end up watching the video afterwards, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. I'll definitely respond to, whatever you guys have to say. I'll give my input. But yeah, I hope we enjoy the rest of the year. I know everybody's, is trying to do that. The year just started. I think we need to, be positive. That's the main thing going forward. And just keep hoping and praying for the best. And I think, we will have a better year, a way better year than, we did in 2020. So you guys could definitely check back here because your boy's back on his grind. I'm gonna be putting out these live streams and these videos for you guys. So you could definitely check back here for some videos. Alright, so that's it for tonight. Jackson, I'm gonna address that one in the comments, but I think I'm gonna close down everything for the night. So you guys could definitely finish all this discussion in the comment section, and I'll definitely join you guys in the comment section as well. So until next week, it's your boy Rayan here. Peace.